Nithyanandam. My name is Nithyanandam, and I welcome to you my series on education. With the blessings of my Guru, the Avatar Paramahamsa Nithyananda, I've been very fortunate and very blessed to learn some of the nuances of learning, of teaching, of being the right educator, and what it means to educate to the world. Today, I want to talk to you about being a teacher. I actually started a profession of teaching when I was in the Indian Institute of Technology pursuing my master's. At that time, as part of our curriculum and education, we had the opportunity to be a research scholar and a teacher and teach part time, like whole lab classes, help students in their questions, and I was particularly helping students answer questions on flight simulation. They were all making their own flight simulators with the F-18 aircraft. So I got to interact with them, and at those moments, I realized being a teacher actually makes you human. There are so many questions somebody will ask you that you will wonder, oh God, I've always just assumed that people would know something or don't know something, and only when you are talking and interacting and answering questions, you realize, oh, actually, the range of understanding is different, and it makes you humane in the sense that the questions that you frame, that the student has to answer, starts to become more and more humble. The question itself will start to change. You will not make any inherent assumptions in the question. Your questioning will become clear and more sound. So, my initial experience in masters was just a little bit, although I would say that experience wasn't the most happiest, because at that time I used to be this angry child who would just hate being questioned, who would not at all want to even answer questions. It was like, why can't somebody figure this out? It was so simple. And then when I moved to PhD, there I got a full time teaching assistantship, and that's when I took on more responsibility of teaching. I had responsibility of teaching and framing the questions this time. So it was more clarity. I have to say, one thing I learned was when I was preparing for the class, I would assume that I would cover a certain portion, but when I actually got to class, I would only cover probably three-fourths or half of it. So the assumption, again, was very profound in my teaching. I would come across very solid. And slowly, when you learn, when you interact more and more, you understand that, oh, I don't really have to cover so much material. And then, actually, when you realize and you look at yourself in the mirror and you start teaching to yourself first, you say, oh, I've just been assuming that I'm going to talk on this Roadrunner pace, but actually, I'm only going to talk on a Mahavidya place. So it's going to be much smaller. Teaching got a lot of fun when I moved to my profession as a professor. It actually started opening up in me some of the clicks that I personally did not get when I was learning. Only when I was preparing class notes, these clicks happened. And when I would go in class, they would open up so much more. And the clarity would come. So I enjoyed and started loving this interaction. And it's so nice that I get to learn from the best teacher in the world. Swamiji, Paramahamsa Nithyananda, is the most patient. Sometimes he repeats the same things. In fact, if you go pick up his early discourses, if you've read the book 6 Days to Total Transformation, in 2002 he talked about how we work with a length, breadth, and depth. He talked about the states of consciousness. He talked about 11 dimensions, and yet we didn't listen to him. And he repeated again in 2004, and 2006, and 2012, and 2014, 2016, and even now in 2018, he repeats himself to tell us that we are in delusion and we need to wake up. A teacher with such patience, with such immense patience, and just waiting for the student to catch on. That's who I get to learn from. So, yesterday in the yoga webinar, Swamiji revealed that teaching is one of the best professions. It's one of the humblest things you will do. Why? Because it actually opens up the click in you. He says it's one of the inner secrets It's not that you enjoy teaching, it's the pressure of students that keeps you learning. And that is so true, because I when I was doing it myself, I would see that I want to prepare more, I want to be able to encourage them, I want to be able to speak into the listening of so many more students. So one of the ideas of teaching as a profession is not, I think, from the context of how much we are contributing to society. It is how much you want to learn. Because the more you teach, I see it that it is more I learn. And that is exactly what, to me, such a profession is. See, understand, all of this has just been my experience. But Hinduism and its sacred texts, back if we go back to Mahasadashiva's Agamas, he actually says that if you want to be an acharya and if you want to complete your learning, one part of that you have to be an acharya. 25% of your learning comes from being an acharya. Agama revealed that to us way before I discovered it for myself, or my avatar came and really revealed that to me. Agamas are the honest truth, the truth of a lifestyle that will only give you bliss and joy. So, for all the teachers out there, if you want to be an extremely amazing and successful acharya, a teacher, a professor in whatever you teach, follow these simple rules that Avatar Paramahamsa Nithyananda reveals. Let your students guide you. Let your students pressure you to be a better teacher. Show yourself, stand yourself in the mirror, learn from them, learn of how you look, and learn from there. And these simple techniques will even make you some of the best teachers in the world. So I hope you enjoyed this series, and we will keep talking more on education and how it changes our world every day, every moment, every life. Thank you for listening. Nithyanandam.